I'm Coleen. This is a dynamic trio block of the month. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to visit my friends Melissa, who's practically creative, and Sylvia, who is You and Me FPP here on YouTube. They are doing much larger blocks than me. Piece A, there's nothing to add to, so I'm just going to lay it down over here. Piece B, going to follow the line with that. For some reason, that's easy for me to see. Let's try B again. B1 and B2. And if you have a light source, you can line these up about where the 1/4 inch is right there. You can see through my paper. Or the way I cut them, I can just line the fabrics up right sides together. I like that. Oh. I started with a low bottom. I may have a bottom raise. Put a little bit in there. We'll see. Now I take the piece I just added, finger press it back, now that I've got both my pretty pieces out, I'm going to cut this piece off, the extra, using my 1/4 inch line. Oops. I lost a foot. This little mat is great for paper piecing. Like, it sits right on the bottom of this, and if it didn't, I could set it right here and have just enough room to do the small ones. Okay, I think we're done with that piece now. And we have B. So A, B, C. Now when I made this, for some reason I didn't erase that line. So C2 and C3 are actually together. I just used one piece of fabric. And I'm adding C1. I could have done it backwards, so let's just say 1 and 2. There's 2 pieces of fabric here. Doesn't matter which one you put on first, I just happened to put the green one on first. I already lined up my edges right there, and you can see through here that that is lined up. It's nice having a window. I use newsprint because newsprint is inexpensive for a lot of papers. I've actually tried the stuff intended for printing on foundation paper piecing. Oh no, that's supposed to be like that. It scared me that I did it wrong. Since they're starched, I should be able to get away with that. And they're harder for my hands to pull off in the end. So this is a little bit easier on my hands, so it is what I will use. I think that will go with my scraps. A, B, and C. I'll look at my diagram later. I stacked these in ABC order because of how I made the letters. So D, don't need that. Put that on the wrong side, didn't I? I got one of these. That's what happened. A, B, C, D. I can't see under here. E. Oh, E is the fun one. E, and then it goes around. But I put first one over here. Right sides of your fabric together, just like we're used to. And I'm not going to, am I? Wow, barely covered that. Let's move this over. I did not like the amount of 1/4 inch I had over there. I'm using my light to make sure I got a 1/4 inch everywhere. And I have to do it again. That looks like it'll do it. I'm going to take the pretty side together. This one's a little bitty piece. I'm not going to fuss that much with it. I'm just going to line it up here and let it go. Sewing on the line between 1 and 2. And I stopped right at that intersection. Right there is where I stopped my needle at. As close as I could. It is harder to see that in this, but I think I'll look. Good finger press. Just the other side. Put my 1/4 inch. I have the add a 1/4 rulers. I find this is faster for me. I'm being very careful with the cutty things and the throat on my machine. So that's one. I could cut that off, but I'm going to leave it there and just catch it in my next seam. That's one. Remember, pretty sides together, just like quilting. Piecing, just like piecing. Okay. Use the light this time because that's not cut. Make sure you get enough up here and enough down here. When in doubt, use a bigger piece. Oops. I learned FPP from the Yvette Renee in her Piecing It Real group year before last. And then I had another friend who designs and teaches FPP, Sylvia at You and Me FPP, and she really helped me to be okay with the not perfect, because it all comes out in the end looking like it is. And giving me tips. In fact, we've coined the expression the Sylvia method. Don't stress, add another piece sometimes, that's all you gotta do. I'm going a quarter past where that piece goes. I'm going a quarter past on each side. Finger pressed it before. I don't think I said that. So now we've got 1, 2, and 3, 4. Oops, pretty sides together. Pretty sides together. I'll move that down. I want to make sure I have enough below and above. That'll work. I've lined it up with my fabrics and I've checked it with this side. And then I moved it. Now this one, it doesn't matter which corner you start at, whichever corner you want to start at. I'm going to start here, come in, backstitch, go to here, stop, backstitch, and go up. I can tell you how I do it. I don't know. Every time I say I'm not a teacher, my friends get on to me. I don't feel like one, but I can show you how I do things. Stop there. Backstitch. See this seam back here? I'm guessing that is less than 1/4 of an inch, so I just barely added up there, but that's okay because a lot of foundation paper piecing, you use 1/8 which is also why there's an at an eighth ruler. So I'm not going to stress over that seam being a little bit shorter than I thought. It'll probably help in this. And let's see where I went off right there. Oh no, what am I going to do? Nothing. I'm going to leave it. Give a finger press. Don't stress it. Don't stress it. With all the stress in the world, why would we add this? Quarter inch past on both sides that I just added that piece on. And every time I leave a thread, it's a new blade. That's me. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're up to 5. Can you tell I went off the paper? Absolutely not. Five. Pretty sides together. That work with 5? Yeah, that'll work with 5. Like I said, I lined it up on that edge that I cut. But you could also use the light. And I want to get one of those fancy cutter pillar lights. I don't think it's necessary. I just want one. Not going to happen anytime soon, but I have a very large wish list. I'm starting off the paper. I did it again. Talking. I'm going to go up to the point, stop on that point, and back up. I should have went forward, that's alright. And the piece we just added, press it back on that sew line that we just did. As you saw, it's hard to get to my iron, so ideally I would have my iron over here. I would stop and I'd give it a quick press, but that's not what we're doing today. Now we just did 5, so I'm going to go a quarter past right here, and the quarter past, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm going to do the quarter past right there, and then I'm going to take care of that. That's it. Yeah. Pick an order. It doesn't matter which side I do first. As long as I'm using the quarter. I have cut my paper like that before, little cuts, but I'm very careful that I push it back with my fingernail as I bring it up. What I mean by that is when I pull this up this way, I use my finger or my nail to put an extra little crease right against the part touching the back. And that's 5. Not worried about that right there. Going to be in my seam, right where it's supposed to be. Pretty sides together. Pretty sides together. Just like piecing. Okay. That'll be enough. I've got it lined up here, so I know it's going to go up here where I want. Quarter inch, quarter inch. Stop at the dot. And I did it again. Enough, just a little bit. It's okay. I'll fix it with my, no, I won't. I'm going to go back. I am going to redo that because that's making this piece bow, and that is not good. Had I went straight across stuff like that, it would have been fine. All I have to do is go back, reline. That one ain't going nowhere. And it's not even going to matter. Don't fret. And now I don't have that bow there. It's straight. Press it down. We're going to cut that piece. Excess off. Oh. Okay. I got it. Right about right there. So let's see, 6. We're on 6, so I'm going to go a quarter inch over here and cut that. Since there's a lot of pieces there, you could do an 1/8. I'm more comfortable with a quarter inch. I don't know if this piece has got any left in it. Yeah, we can use it over there, but we're going in order. Now I need to set it. Another piece. Pretty sides together. Go all the way across. You could pin it if you need to, if you find shifting between here and here. Really, I ain't stressing that. Did I mention my friend Sylvia makes custom FPP? And she can do it from pictures? There is usually a link. Okay, now we're going to press that one back. Underneath my videos for her. She is relatively inexpensive, and it is digital, so no waiting. Well, no waiting on the mail. Creating a pattern takes time, although she is lightning fast. I am very jealous. After creating a couple myself, seriously, she's worth every penny and more. angles that were getting me. Alright, and now this side, pretty sides together, and 8. I can go do 9 now. I'm just doing them in the order I put them. I line my fabrics up that 1/4 inch I cut. Also happens to be the 1/4 inch middle thread. Both my threads are back there now. At some point, I have an FPP where I made chicken. A chicken FPP. It was a free pattern. I think I did one on a live. That's not talking. I was just putting it together. All the way off the paper and back. I don't remember how long it's going to be, but I'm going to put it up. Maybe not until September. So cute. A good finger press. Nail press. Nail stretches the fabric sometimes. Does it stop me from doing it? Not usually. I do try to remember not to, but I said I ain't stressing it. FPP is a perfect thing to learn if you have scraps. I think you could probably make most FPP patterns scrappy as you wanted to. Now let's see what this one will do. Pretty sides together. I can either move that in, there we go, or do it right the first time. So off the paper and I went back. Finger press. These two will go in scraps. These will not. They would be taken away by the 1/4 inch. Lost in the 1/4 inch. Okay, A, B, C, D, E. No, crap. F. You wouldn't think counting from 1 to 4 is so hard. Or 1 to 3. It is harder than kindergartners make it look. Okay. Oops. Pretty side down. Pretty side down on the first piece. Away from you. I'll recut this. There we go. Now we have 1, there's a 2 right here. When in doubt, go bigger. Okay. Now this is going to go this way. I'm starting at the intersection, so in between F1 and F2. I'm going to try to put this up as a free pattern if I can get it in Google Docs. Yeah, do it at your own risk. I'm not a professional, I did this for fun. Math and angles, I actually do like that stuff. I'm going to fold that back. Right? Yeah. I fold this back and take off the 1/4 inch there. Make this a little bit easier. I could have made this a straight line with something else, but it just takes away from the roof effect if I did that. This line I just sewed on. I'm just going to go a 1/2 inch past the end of that fabric line right there. Now I'm probably going to have to put this up in 2 pieces because I'm pretty sure this is going to take me an hour. I cut that. It's okay. It's okay. It's the seam allowance. It's not even part of this piece that we just put in. The piece we just put in is way down here. But let's cut this off right the 1/4 inch. Oop. Don't want to slide though. Like I said, an 1/8 is fine. Let's not do that if I don't have to. So we have F1, F2, F3. Let's see where that angle goes. Normally I like angles. Right now I don't, because I know I've messed this angle up many times. Go down a little bit more. Okay, so I think if I start here, it will flip back properly. Right sides, pretty sides together. Just off my paper and go across off the paper. At this point, there's a ton of things I can't remember whether I was taught that way or if I do it because I find it more efficient. And I apologize. See? Should have used a big piece of fabric. Wouldn't even have to worry about it. No. But you know what I'm going to do? This is where the Sylvia method comes in. I'm going to leave that piece there. Finger press it. Just cap this outside. Do not freak out. This is paper pieced, which means it's lots of tiny pieces together, or larger pieces together. So if you take your fabric, I may have to get me a bigger piece. Pretty sides together. Yep, I have to get me a bigger piece. I'm going to glue this down. Keeps flopping. I really don't want that. I can't remember if I had the pretty piece, the right side down on the pretty piece. Okay, that should do it. Now, what am I going to turn that over? We don't want to catch that cut. What I'm going to do is flip this over, turn this back, and I'm going to put a crease there. Then I'm going to go 1/4 inch over here to add that piece of fabric. I'm about to make a horrible mistake. It's magic. Can you see what it is? I'm going to crease that again because I can't see it. Sometimes I don't have to crease it. This particular case I have to crease it. What you're doing is just adding more fabric to that piece of fabric. This instance, I'm doing it through the... Oh, that was bad. What happened? Oh, I see what happened. Do you see what I did? Up. We're gonna take a time out while I can look at my toolbox to see how I fix this. Okay. How I fixed this was I grabbed the screw that the needle is held in with and I used it to lift that up. That can't be good. Let's try that again. Okay, this doesn't work. I'll do it that way. Wow, that's scary. I'm not 1/4 inch over. The line I bent is going to go on my 1/4 inch foot right here. Did I get it? Got it. And I got that. So I'm going to cut that off first. Bend it back to my line. Get my 1/4. Man, that was not good. I tell my husband, people watch me because I do risky things, but I don't do it on purpose. I'm too much of a chicken to do it on purpose. Okay, I'm going to push this back. I left the paper attached, and I'll just cut that piece off. Ooh. I'm sitting here laughing at myself saying, I can't believe I did that. But my husband also says that, there's very little original in this world, so, tell me if you've done that before. Fine. I'm fine. I'm always thinking of new ideas for my channel name. Hold my Coleen and watch this. How bad could it possibly be? Scrap bin, scrap bin. All right. This, what do we say? This was F. So F is going to go next to E. And we can start to see how this is going to come together in the end. Nope, don't need that. This is G, 1 and 2. I put a sticky on this to hold it in place, except for then it would just make it hard when I'm doing other things. Yeah, that had to be hard on the machine. And you saw me earlier when I was getting this together, but line those up where I cut it. Also lines up right there fine. Push it back. Trim it off without losing any fingers. I should stick to live. I'm well supervised by my friends there. Okay. Now I'm gonna go over this line where my blue piece goes, G3, 1/4 of an inch, and cut that off because it's gonna make it easier for me to put that on. I don't know if it would you or not, but it does me. Now I can line up that blue with my 1/4 inch of fabric I've got over right there. Keep a trash can near you. There's trash. Okay. Pretty sides together. And go all the way across that. Fabrics are lined up. Yep, you can see through it. I just followed that line straight through the seam. All the way through. I didn't stop there. I just went straight through. Tell my friends I want a boom mic, but it has to hang from the ceiling. That way you can see it dipping into the picture just above my head, ready to fall on me at any minute. That's good YouTube. Sewing with a bit of risk. A bit of unnecessary risk. G3, done. And that goes into my scraps. G3, I believe, goes back here. Then we have H1 and 2. Line up that 1/4 inch with my fabrics that I had cut. And you know, just because this takes me an hour doesn't mean it's going to take you an hour. I'm going slow, I'm explaining, I'm working around things. I tell you, my friend Melissa, Practically Creative, gifted me these in a set of seam rippers, and I love them. I didn't know I needed them or wanted them. Okay, now see this? This is about 1/8 right there. I'm not going to worry about it. And this is the outside. I'm going to trim it off anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that either. And am I going to worry about it? Oh, it's the inside. Look at silly me. What we're going to do, I'm going to take this piece, pull my papers back, the Sylvia method. Just add a piece of fabric. Nobody knows unless you tell them. Or unless they've made the pattern. You know, if they're judging you by that, shame on them. That's attached. Okay. Now my brain is happy. I can cut that piece just fine. Oops. I'm going to go over to this side, pulling the paper back, and trim off that seam allowance. Okay. So now I have a bigger piece of fabric to work with. I'll go back. Since this one is going that way, I'm going to push that one that way. Turn it over, and look at that. Not sure where Sylvia learned how to FPP, but I would call it the Sylvia method. Don't worry about it. Look at that. Just looks like another piece that I am going to pin it. I could glue it. But that entered my head too late. Okay, then we have I and J. Don't forget to check out Melissa, Practically Creative, and Sylvia over at You and Me FPP. I am very excited to be back. Don't forget, be the light you hope to see in others. And have a great day, weekend, week, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Take care.